All right, back again. Here today with the Beckett Simonon Gallagher Boot. The Beckett Simonon Gallagher Boot in Bordeaux, which you know is my favorite color. Burgundy, number 8, Saphir, Bordeaux. Now I was sent this boot last year. This is just a year review in it. So you guys know Beckett Simonon Gallagher. But before we start, always, today I'm doing the Griffin cigar here. It's by Davidoff. It's a mild cigar. It's smoky. I'll put some smoke in here for you. The big issue with this cigar for me is it's a tight draw. And you want me to throw a cigar out the window if it's a tight draw. I'll never get that cigar again. You know my favorite brand is Oliva. I've never got that out of there. But this cigar is about the second time I probably tried it, and it had a tight draw. I wasn't going to do it again, but a friend of mine said, man, try it again. And he gave it to me. So, yeah, I don't recommend these. They're inexpensive, okay, Davidoff's, but it comes from their lineage of cigar making. So what I did was, since it's a tight draw, take my little picker here like this, you guys that don't know, and I put 3 little pokes in there right here. Boom, 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 like a diamond, like so here. All the way down. See, look how tight that is. It's going down. So it's supposed to be hand rolled, I guess, but I don't know if Arnold Schwarzenegger was rolling these. But every time, man, it's just a real tight draw. It helps a little bit. You can go this way too if you need to. To kind of help the draw out, but let's see. Yeah, a little bit. Let's do one more here. Me personally, yeah, that's not going to hurt the Beckett. And I'm going to tell you why here in a second. There you go. Me personally, I don't want to do all that before I smoke my cigar. I want to cut it, open it, cut it, light it, smoke it. So, needless to say, I'm not a fan of them. And if somebody were to give me another one, I'd probably take it and put it in my humidor. So when friends come over, I can give them something to smoke. So with this, you just turn it around like this. Boom. If you're a cigar smoker, man, you gotta have one of these, because sometimes you get them. I know when I go to Honduras, usually every time I go there, their cigars it's really a tight roll. Now, I get them if I'm there over 2 weeks. When they roll me one, I'll let it, rest for a couple days. But I even bring it back home, man, and it's still always a tight draw. So anyway, this is all Dominican filler with a shade Connecticut wrapper. It's a medium stick, but I can tell you right now, I will never smoke this again, because this is the second time it had a tight draw. Even with all that poking, it's still tight. So with that, I also have my Irish coffee here. It's got little patties in there, little patties Irish whiskey. So that's that. Now on to the Beckett Simonon here. Had them a year. They sent them to me last year. So first, we'll always address the elephant in the room when we're talking about Beckett Simonon. It's going to take you several months to get the shoe once you order. Now they've gotten better because they'll tell you when the next shipment is being made. Then you can go from there for how many months it's going to be. Beckett Simonon is not the company you go buy a shoe from because you're going to a prom next week. You're not going to get the shoe. If you're going to a prom next month, you're not going to get the shoe. Beckett Simonon is really a company, if, in my opinion, shoe company, boot company, whatever, footwear. They do women's too. If you're a shoe collector or you have a lot of shoes, and you say, hey man, I'd like to get a shoe like that, you can get it from them and wait. That's Beckett Simonon. It's an affordable shoe company. Does it compare to Carmina, Merriman, and all that? No. Well, the price is different as well. You can get these if you wait for the special. I believe at the time of this, sometimes they run specials for like $189. That's the best time to buy. So you can get it for under $200. Not bad for that price. The leather on it, it's a full grain leather. It's a Finchetta glove inside. It says it's a whole cut, so it's just one piece inside. Now the leather inside on these, it feels fabulous, to your hand. I don't wear boots barefoot, but if I did, this would be great. Now this leather here, Finchetta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's supposed to, keep the smell down, make sure your feet, don't sweat and all that good stuff. I don't have sweaty dogs. I usually keep my feet clean and lotioned. So I usually don't have that problem in my life. As you guys been following me, I like to be clean. But the leather in Beckett Simonon's footwear, the Finchetta leather, it always feels nice. Now it really feels nice when you first get it. But after a while, it starts to really wear in and it feels even better. The downside on this boot, I'll tell you, for me, I hate pull tabs on boots because I never pull it. I use a shoe tree to put my foot in always. I don't pull it. Only thing I'll pull is the shoestrings. We'll talk about that too on these. These are wax shoestrings. This really, when I saw it, it's not a lot about this boot online. So to me, it's like an indie boot almost. It's like an indie boot almost. What I do like about this one over the indie style boot, like that has like white stitching. I don't like contrast stitching. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of contrast stitching. I kind of like it all the same. So this worked out well for me. The other good thing about this, true to size. I wear a 13. I got a 13. 13 fits my foot. Now, I do wear boot socks with this. So anytime I have a boot on, I always have my wool merino thick wool socks on. So I like that. Leather bottoms. Okay. Now, I got something to say about leather bottoms. First shoes I ever wore as a youth, when I went to Catholic school, we had to wear hard sole shoes. They had leather bottoms. I kind of think we're getting away from like the leather bottoms for like formal wear. This is my opinion. Like casual stuff, it can be rubber, but formal, I think it should be leather. It feels different. It looks different. They'll tell you, well, hey, the rubber will last longer. Well, it might, but I have a ton of shoes, so I'm always rotating them. So I'm not too concerned about that. Blake stitch, Okay, so it's a light boot compared to like a Thursdays. It's Goodyear welt. It's heavy. It's real heavy. This is not. It's casual. I wouldn't put this on with a suit, but I would put it on with wool trousers. But I wouldn't wear it with a suit, tie, and all that. Could you? Would I? But I dress up with this. I go to plays and dinner. I usually, look, man, we need to get out of this. Like when I go out on dates, I don't wear sneakers. I put a shoe on. Well, I know, that's a dress sneaker. I don't even do that. I just don't. I think we need to get back to that. I mean, one Christmas, we went out somewhere and a guy rolled up on us and said, hey. I thought he wanted directions. He was like, you guys look sharp, man. Nobody dresses up anymore. He was like, thank you for doing that. I was like, you're welcome. And they don't, man. We go to plays and people got on flippity flops and slides, or I don't even know the difference between a flip flop and a slide. It's all the same, or a house shoe, or what's that? The damn pajama stuff, walking around, going to plays and functions, and don't get me started. So I'm gonna stop. Anyway, for the money, this is not bad. Okay, like I said, I had it a year. I've been caught out in the rain several times. Matter of fact, right now it's raining, so if you hear some thunder, it's what it is. Talk about, I did tell you it's Blake Stitch. They make their shoes in small batches, so that's why it takes several months to get it. The rubber, I think it's SBR. Like I said, I had it a year, and you can kind of see the wear on it right there a little bit. All right. What else? That's about it, man. So what I'm going to do, so it's at the time of filming this here, man, it's about boot season here in the Midwest. Now, you can wear this year round. Don't put some Saphir on it. They recommend Saphir. Now, I kind of cleaned these good before I did this, but I do get people saying, hey, man, you put that down in the leather. No. So a little bit goes a long ways. Dabbing. Again, you know how I am on Saturdays. I like to come out here and just get my stuff ready. If I'm cleaning the boot, if I'm polishing. Now, some people ask me, well, how come you don't put the number 8 polish on it? Well, if I have any scuffs or scars or scratches, deep scratches, I'll polish it. But right now, I just use this conditioner and I just keep the leather conditioned. With these, I really don't want them shiny. That's my take. Some people, they want them shiny. Oh, I didn't take the shoestrings out. My dad, he'd be like, hey boy, what's your problem, man? You better take them shoestrings off. So my dad wasn't looking, I do just what I'm doing now. Pull the tongue down and hit him. Pull the tongue down and hit him. Then he comes, you take the, I'll be wanting to say, yes, sir. Then I'll be like, no, sir. I didn't think you did. So my dad was different, man. If like, you could ask my dad, like, Dad, can I have, back then, $5 was like $20. Can I have $5? You go to the store and get something? Boy, then you hear the story about him, working for $1 a day, which he actually did. He actually showed me how he had to walk to school. He would say, I walked miles uphill. He did. Not both ways though, but he did. He showed me the journey. So anyway, I'd be like, Dad, can I have $5? And he was like, how much money you got saved up in your emergency fund? We had to keep an emergency fund. And I kept it in a book. So I would tell him like, yeah, Dad, I got about $30. He said, okay. So what I learned, if I showed him that what I had and I was asking for 5 or whatever, and he saw that I was saving it, he'd give me like 10, sometimes 20. So I would use the 5 and take the rest and put in that emergency fund. Well, not all of it. I'd probably use the 5 and take $2, keep it in my pocket. Because my dad sometimes would come up and say, how much money you got in your pocket? If you said none, that'd be a problem. He would, back then, we didn't have no cell phones. He was always like, boy, you should always have some money in your pocket. You never know if you gotta call a cab, catch a bus, make a phone call. And in my head, I'm like, I'm 10 years old. I don't know how to call no damn cab. But you couldn't argue with your dad back then. So, but anyway, that's that. So I'm gonna hit him with this. Now I'm gonna tell you about the leather on these. They say it's from Argentina. It comes from a good tannery and all that good stuff. And you know what? It probably does. But just please understand, like, this is not Carmina leather. My good buddy, man, Fitzpatrick, Shoe Snob, explains it very well. Like the big companies, Lob and all them guys, they get the first dibs at the best leather coming out the tanneries. And they're going to get that. They're going to get that top leather with the grain that's perfect, all that good stuff. Everybody else, they get what's left over. So, he had a great podcast about $300 shoe in yesteryear is now $500. So the $500 shoe today, you're getting $300 quality that we got back then. So he's basically telling you that, it's really hard for these shoe companies to stay in business, make a good product, because the leather is more expensive, the tannery, all that is costing more. So really only your top brands can really charge that. Well, that's where Beckett Simonon, Thursdays, and all those guys come in. So this leather, you're going to see some imperfections in it. Okay, when you first open it up, you're going to see some imperfections in the leather. But understand it. That's why it's what it cost. All right. But I'm getting some patina in. I'm getting some wrinkles. Me personally, I don't mind the wrinkles in leather. I kind of like it. So that's that. And also, I'm going to show you what I had another video up of my guy, Elegant Oxford, and Levi showed me how to dress this heel really nice. Okay, putting this renovator on there that's going to give it some protection. Now understand now, this sole is a vegetan sole. This is a vegetan sole here. So it needs to be conditioned. So another cobbler friend of mine told me with like Red Wing boots, the inside of it sometimes curls up because you've got to condition the inside of that vegetan sole. So anyway, Levi Elliott, Elegant Oxford, they do these master classes. And again, I was at the trunk show and I watched them, and these guys are dynamite. If you ever get a chance to follow them, please do so. Levi Elliott and the Elegant Oxford. I'm not a shoe shine guy at all, but they taught me this tip. So take your renovator, your conditioner. If you have a leather welt or a leather, sole and heel, leather stacked heel, hit it, let it dry. Okay, you're gonna sit it and you're gonna let it dry. Then we're gonna hit it with some wax, then we're gonna shine it up. It's gonna make it look nice and Alrighty. Let me get a hit of coffee here. All right, what's this cigar doing? This cigar is trash. And I'm gonna always be honest with you guys. If something sucks, I'm gonna tell you this cigar sucks. Don't, unless you like tight draws. Tight draws, but unless you like that, get this crap. So anyway, that's that part. I already have done that one, so we're gonna leave that one that way so I don't get messed up. Normally I like to leave this on overnight. You know, I'll leave it on overnight and come back, do it again, do another coat. But I don't have to do it with these, man. I really took good care of them. And like I said, I do wear these year round. I only got caught in the rain twice with these. So and the last time I conditioned them was last year before I put them up, which wound up, I didn't put them up. I still wore them. Do I recommend these? Yeah. For the money, if Beckett is the kind of company you can deal with. If you need that shoe next week, Beckett is not the company for you. But if you have a lot of shoes and you just want to add to your collection a affordable, good shoe, Beckett is the company. Hey, also asked me, and viewers have asked me, how is their customer service? Okay, so let me define my customer service, what I think good customer service is. Again, good customer service to me is when I never have to call you. If I have to call you, now, you know, you activate customer service. So to me, their customer service can be better. That shoe signed up pretty good there, huh? That Saphir ain't no joke. Oh, let me check my hands. See, that Saphir, sometimes some of that color will pull off on your hands. So if you're using Saphir on certain shoes, check it. Make it, look at it. Because if it's not a good company, whatever they painted and how they painted that shoe, it's gonna wind up on your hands. I gotta get that tongue, you know, my dad. What? Take them shoestrings out. Again, he would say, just kiss it. Don't beat your shoe up with the brush. Man, Elegant Oxford and Levi, man, they can work this brush. Do all kind of stuff with this brush. It's not bad, man. Look at that shoe. Again, it's not a bad looking. This is really not a bad looking boot. You know, it kind of has that indie look to it. I enjoy it. True to size. Okay. Now, other companies I've put on, let's say Thursdays, I'm gonna do another review on them. Man, I got probably about 10 pair of Thursdays, something similar to that, and they all fit different. And here's the thing, I'm a true 13 on a Brannick, so I got 12 and a half, didn't fit right, had to put pads in my shoe. Then I said, let me try a 12, too tight. My top of my foot would bulge, and I'm like, ah. So yeah, I struggle with them. I know they got a new one out. I might try. I doubt it. I'm too afraid because I haven't had. I'm too afraid. Just put it like that. They're sneakers. No. So see how I dressed that heel with that renovator? It got a little shine to it. Now, if I'd have done it last year, all that was on it, it probably wouldn't have been chipped up like that. But I didn't know until the elegant Oxford taught me. Now, guess what? We'll speed this up. If you want to take some wax, this is a Saphir wax, and wax it as well. That wax acts as a barrier. So you can put as many coats on there as you like. I try to get the welt too a little bit. It acts as a barrier. Now, if you look at this shoe, it's got like you want to say a storm to it, storm welt to keep the water out down in there a little bit. That's what it appears to be. But again, man, it's Beckett. It's really not a bad boot at all. It's probably my second favorite. I got another video coming. You'll see my first favorite boot that they make. But this is definitely my favorite color of anything Beckett. It's not bad, man. I would get this. I'd recommend it. I just want you to know going in that if you need it tomorrow, you're not getting it. All other thing, well, let me say this. These speed hooks, they bend. See how that one bent? Bend, buddy. I was tying it, and I think I pinched it with my hand and it bent. So again, they have to cut costs, as my guy Shoe Snob will say. They have to cut costs somewhere, and that was an area. So I think I had put wax on this one already. Let me just hit the heel. So again, you heard me say in another one of my videos, my dad would always, man, that guy got on gaiters, but he cleaned the top part of his shoe, but he didn't dress the heel and the sole. Again, people, you're gonna spend money on these shoes, take care of them. Take a class from the Elegant Oxford. Look at that. Take a class from the Elegant Oxford or Levi. Right? If you want to be that, do that. Another thing Beckett does, they'll sell you some Beckett Simonon shoe trees. So me being who I am, when you order your shoe, just go ahead and get the shoe tree to go with it. So you ain't got to worry about, man, let me go to Nordstrom's or wherever you go get your shoe trees from. Let me go over there and get it. You don't have to worry about it. So look at the difference. Look at that heel, man. Look at the difference. And now it's protected. I only put maybe one, maybe two coats on there. Like I say, I'm not trying to get a mirror shine on that. But that's that. Ideally, I put that Saphir on. I let it sit overnight. But for the sake of what we're doing, that's that. Anyway, that's the Beckett Simonon. I recommend the Gallagher. Just understand, you might have some customer service issues. They do use AI, so you'll be texting and you'll get a text from somebody that says, I'm Felipe. It's AI. Okay, so you will get that. Check their return policy. If it doesn't fit, usually they'll take it right back and then send you another pair. But here's the issue. Let's say I'm a 13, right? If it doesn't fit, I send it back. They don't have another 13 or have a 12 and a half or whatever, 12, whatever size you need. Now you got to wait those extra months to get it. That's what you deal with when you deal with Beckett Simonon. Again, is it Mirrorman Carmina quality, not even close. It's an affordable boot or shoe. Okay, some have some decent style to it. It has a decent leather, but it's an affordable leather.